LeBron James spent a lot of time testing out the grip on virtually every inch of the Lakers court. And rightfully so, as he surely didn't want to risk potentially injuring himself like some other NBA superstars. Tyrese Halliburton almost does the full splits here and kind of tweaks his groin on the opening day of the in-season tournament. Donovan Mitchell also fell down, and that game looked more like it was played on an ice skating rink than a basketball court. This is literally an injury waiting to happen. The league and the media are trying to push the in-season tournament as a spectacle, but this project has a dark and ugly side, and players are starting to talk about it.
I think the court today was really bad. It was really slippery, and then some places the ball didn't really bounce. So, if we're gonna have this course, we're gonna make sure that, it's stable court so you can play on it.
Similar thing happened to Jaylen Brown as well, and it came at the end of a close game against the Raptors, after which he was hobbling to the bench.
There's been about 10 times guys are slipping all over the place. So, if they're going to do these floors, you got to make sure you're taking care of the guys.
Brown is the latest of a long list of players who fell and almost injured themselves on these new courts. So after the game, he felt that he had to speak up.
Strained my groin a little bit. We'll see. Court was just slippery, all game. And we got to make sure the floor is safe to play on. We can't put our players out there and risk their health. So tonight, I thought the floor was kind of unacceptable. I think guys was just slipping all over the place.
The real problem gets exposed when you ask how could the NBA allow this? Wasn't there any quality control testing during this process? And the shocking answer is no, there wasn't. Wait, what? Well, ESPN published an article on October 30th detailing that 2 of the courts were still not finished. With the tournament being just 4 days away from officially kicking off, the league still had not completed every court, and the finished ones were done just days before that. The entire process was so rushed and chaotic that there was literally no time for any testing or even fixing any issues. So naturally, the next question is, why did they have to do all of that? Why rush it like this and risk injuring the players? And this is how we get to the spiciest part of the story, the money. And speaking of money, I want to get what I pay for when buying tickets and not get ripped off by paying for a nice seat and ending up in the nosebleeds, which happened to me one time. Thankfully, Game Time, the sponsor of this video, solves all of that. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. I love that I can see right here where I'll be sitting and the view itself from my seats. Also, if you're like me and spontaneously decide to go to a concert or a game on the day of the event, Game Time comes in clutch with killer deals on last-minute tickets. Plus, they guarantee you the best price for your seats, or if you find them cheaper, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Now that's a Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Create an account on GameTime.co or the Game Time app and use code HEATCHECK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code HEATCHECK for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Now, here's the background behind the in-season tournament that most people don't realize. The NBA is at the tail end of the TV rights deal that was signed back in 2014. Back then, the broadcasters led by ESPN and TNT agreed to pay a whopping $2 billion for the games. But as much as it sounds, there are rumors that the next one, which would come 2 years from now, could reach close to $8 billion, a 4-time increase. It's going to be the first major deal after the widespread emergence of streaming, as more and more people move away from traditional cable TV. There's going to be a lot of bidding between major streaming services and a lot of money on the table. Now, all of that is great for the NBA, but in order to be able to command such a high price, you need to deliver on viewership, and the fact of the matter is that the league is struggling during some periods of the year. Sure, the playoffs and the finals are top of the top. There is also excitement during the start of the season and peak moments like Christmas Day or the All-Star. But there are big chunks of November, January, or March where the NBA is heavily outperformed in terms of TV ratings by the NFL, college football, or college basketball, especially during March Madness. Also, besides the big marquee games, the younger generation won't sit in front of the TV for almost 3 hours to watch Orlando vs Utah on a random Tuesday. 82 games is a lot, so the average fan doesn't have the time to catch every single one of those. And this is ultimately what the league is trying to mitigate by creating more competitiveness, more drama and storylines, and more reasons for the fans to tune in during times when they otherwise wouldn't. A random game between Orlando and Utah could become the quarterfinal matchup of the in-season tournament. Whoa, who's gonna reach the semis? Find out tonight on TNT. Or the deciding game of the group stage, such and such has to win tonight if they wanna advance to the knockouts. Tune in tonight on ESPN. That's why they painted the courts in all those bright colors that give you headaches. 1. To appeal to the younger audience where the viewership is slipping and declining the most. And 2. For you to instantly recognize while flipping channels that this is, quote, a special game, and hopefully you stay tuned and watch it till the end. The league has 2 seasons to prove that this fancy new tournament generates more interest and to sell it at a premium during the new TV deal. They made the decision to go ahead with it during the summer, and it was way too quickly for all the court designs and logistics to be sorted properly, so this is why they rushed it and couldn't properly test it. This is why we see players slipping and sliding all over the floor. But worst of all is that it doesn't seem to generate any added buzz besides the backlash on Twitter about the aggressive paint job. And truthfully, they're right because this is borderline unwatchable. Also, fans don't have a clue who's playing in which group and who's the leader in Group B or Group C. Actually, players themselves seem clueless as well.
When you first heard about the in-season tournament idea, what were your thoughts?
I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know how it works. I don't know anything, honestly.
Now look, all of that aside, I'm sure that those final 2 days in Vegas will generate a lot of interest. Semifinals, finals, raising some kind of trophy, that's going to add to the level of competition between the players and buzz around the league, and it will be a success, just like the play-in has been a massive hit. But this is just 2 days. The rest of the tournament, at least right now in its first year, is an eyesore and not really different from a regular game. And worst of all, an injury hazard for many players. So hopefully the league makes some adjustments and fixes it so that we as fans and most importantly the players enjoy the experience.
It feels great because it's an in-season tournament win. And we'll take that. We'll take that for sure. Y'all heard it's 500,000 on the line, so we're going for that. We're going for that.
You want to share?
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Congrats on the win.
If you like this video, subscribe and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.